Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. Today is kind of a special day. This is our 25th episode.
Happy anniversary, buddy.
Happy anniversary. And joining us today, Jim, is Ron. Once again, he just happened to be up here.
Was he walking by again and you pulled him over?
I think he smelled when...
I'll be right over, guys.
I think it was when he heard the bottles clanking. He came running.
Well, I don't usually see him moving that quickly at his age of 29.
29, yes. He's very fast.
I'm young for my age.
He's he's fleet of foot.
And once he started hearing these good beers we're going to be drinking for this anniversary edition, he was like Johnny on the spot.
He basically said, I'm going to hate every second of it, but I will come up and help.
Well, it is hot, it is humid, and I'm thirsty.
That's all it took.
That's a good combination.
Yes. No, it's a bad combination. He wants to drink.
Yeah.
But the good part is all of these beers are a little bit bigger bottled than just a 12-ounce can.
Correct. Most of them are.
Yes, these are not for the faint of heart.
So does that mean we have to drink more?
Well, there's a possibility.
You might have to.
Or less and enjoy it more? Well, let's just drink.
We'll figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we decided for our 25th episode, that we were going to do anniversary beers.
Okay.
So we started looking around, and I had some. Jim, you found some, and we've got kind of.
And Ron found.
I found someone to drink.
We found Ron.
And we found Ron. So we are going to try out some anniversary beers here on our 25th episode, and a few of these are right in Jim's wheelhouse.
Yes.
They're going to be heavier beers for sure. We'll see how this goes. The first one, we're going to get right into it because Ron is looking very parched.
Peaked.
There you go.
I am peaked, yes.
So the first one that we have is actually from the Brewing Projekt.
The Brewing Projekt.
Yeah, I apparently lied to you, Jim. It's from the Brewing Projekt.
Is that in Eau Claire?
Yes.
Yes.
But this is their 7th anniversary Barleywine, barrel-aged barley wine.
So, Mike, what makes a barley wine? Can you enlighten me on that one?
You take barley and you put it in wine, I think.
Thanks, Captain.
That sounds right, doesn't it? Yes, I picked this. I'm trying to think of where I got this one at.
Probably at the Brewing Projekt, because I don't think they sell them outside the...
It wasn't
brewery,
at the Brewing Projekt. Oh, I got this at the beer shop in Sparta.
Really?
Yes.
All right, well, so this one is going to be rolling the dice.
So this will be rolling the dice, because, yes.
So that could be stolen beer from the beer project or the brewing project.
I can neither confirm nor deny how this bottle ended up here. But the thing
I won't tell anybody.
The thing that I saw on the bottle that I'm not going to lie, Jim, to start with, does scare me a little bit. It's 16.4% ABV.
Nice.
So
all right, So
this, Jim, should be in your wheelhouse.
This should be a good beer. Ron, I hope you are ready for this trip.
It's been good knowing you guys.
Wow, this one looks dark.
This one it's not like stout dark.
No, it's not. It
definitely has a brown.
It's a
definitely
dark brown hue. Ooh. I can smell it all the way from here.
It does have a
wine
nice
smell.
aroma.
Oof.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just gonna say that smells boozy.
You can get drunk off the smell.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Wow.
It's okay.
It smells really boozy. I'm not gonna lie. It warms the.
It does warm your palate.
Yes, it does.
It warms your insides when you drink it, but
it's
not as strong as as far as, you know what I mean, the booziness, if that's how you say it, even though it does burn and such, there
is a lot going on in there.
There's a lot of flavor there.
Oh, you can.
Wow. I think we're going to save some of that.
Well, that is quite delicious, though.
Just because it is very good, but we have some other ones that we're going to get to, so we're going to save that for later.
Yeah, I'm still trying to come up with all the flavors and all the taste, but it's got stuff going everywhere.
It's very complex, but it's very tasty.
I think I'm sweating on a hot day.
It may not have been the best choice to start with that one on a hot day, but it
got
definitely has like notes of like caramel.
Oh yeah, definitely caramel.
I don't know if it's like dark fruit kind of thing, kind of like figs or dates or something like that.
Mike,
What?
I think you're stretching.
You're not.
It's a little sweet, of course, but
It's got a burn going down.
It's got a burn going down.
It's
Like I said, I can feel it right here. Starts from your mouth and ends in your tummy, and it feels warm the whole way.
it's almost like you're drinking a shot.
Yeah, it's close. It's not quite.
How many 16% ABVs have we ever had?
We've
Or
had
above?
probably more than you think.
I mean, or above.
Right. I mean, I bet you we've had more than you would think, but this is up there.
This is
We've had, like I said, I know you and I have had over close to 600 beers that are over 10%, if not
right. But
more.
over 16,
Over 16, it drops down because there's not as many that are that high. But yeah,
I mean, and again, I'm not a huge barley wine drinker. This one isn't bad. I don't know if they needed to go to 16% though with it. I don't know. I think if they would have knocked it down, maybe like 11, 12, add a little more flavor to it, I think I could be in with it. But boy,
You think there's not a lot of flavor to it?
I don't. Well, I think my taste buds are burnt off.
I was going to say.
This is like drinking a shot of liquor.
Wow.
I mean, who's got head on their beer right now? It's gone.
Nope.
So, I mean, there's a lot of alcohol in this.
Yes, there is.
What do you think, Ron? What do you taste anything?
I think it's delicious.
Ooh. Well, since you said that, you want to start off with the stars?
I'll give it 4 right out of the box.
Wow.
I like it. It tastes very good, complex, very tasty.
I'm going exactly with Ron, the 4. I think it's good.
Yes.
Wow, really?
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess I'm
not familiar with barley wines very much, but
I guess I'm going to be the stinker.
I think it's very good, very very good.
All right, Jim, let's hear it.
So I'll definitely say I'm not a barley wine connoisseur. So my challenges with it are we just had a phenomenal beer from Central Waters that was aged in Pappy Van Winkle barrels for 48 months or 52 months, right, Mike?
Yes.
And when you drank that, there was no burn. It was just nice flavor. Everything was smooth.
You're correct.
So,
That's very outlier.
So I'm judging it based on that, which is a bad thing for this one. But this one does give me a burn going down my throat, all the way from my mouth, throat, into my stomach.
From your mouth, throat?
Yeah, all the way down.
I'm not sure what that is, Ron.
But at 16%, I know
16.4, yeah.
It is up there. I'm not sold on it. I'm going to have to go with 3-4.
It's in a world of its own.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm kudos for trying. I mean, you'll never know what you get if you don't try.
Right.
So I'm glad they did try it, and I'm glad we did get an opportunity to taste it.
Yep.
It's a sipper.
Oh yes, that is for sure.
You're not going to be slamming this one.
It's a treat.
In the winter, that would warm the cockles of your heart.
Oh yes, it will.
The cockles of your heart. It does it in the summer too, when it's hot out.
Like we're working up a sweat right now just drinking this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew. It's wow.
Yeah, it's like I said, I do like it, but I'm not going to want to drink a 6-pack of it. I'll tell you that because I think you might get a buzz going. That's my opinion.
You think you can drink a whole bottle of it?
No, I couldn't drink a whole bottle of it either. I'd have a buzz going.
What's the size of the bottle on this one? Is it 12 or?
No, it's bigger than that. It is a 500 milliliters, so it's kind of in between, a regular bottle and then like the bombers, like the 22 ounce. So this is like in between there.
And did we talk about where's the brewing project from?
They're in Eau Claire,
Wisconsin.
Yep.
So that's close by here. I mean, we actually.
Oh, yeah.
We drove through it on the way here.
Yes.
I've heard many good things about the Brewing Project.
I've been to I was at their brewery when they were at their previous location in Eau Claire. It was like basically looked like just a metal shed. And now they actually have built a new building, and we were in Eau Claire, but it was like around COVID time. So we wwent over to see if they were open, but they were open, but you had to like call in and order, and they would bring the beer out. You couldn't go in.
Gotcha.
So I'm hoping at some point, we can make it to Eau Claire and check it out, because the last time we were there, I mean, they got a lot of really good beers, and we've had a lot of them at, the beer shop carries a lot of their beers.
Right.
And they do a lot of sours. Ooh. And such too, but they've got your new wheelhouse. But it's a good brewery. I think that it makes really good beer. And one of the things that I was really kind of impressed with the owner, a few years ago, they were having this discussion. They want to try and change a law in Wisconsin because they have this. I don't remember what they call it, but it's like a 3-tier system where if you own a brewery, you cannot own a bar or like a distribution thing. You have to have they have to be completely separate. But
entities
are
being owned by separate people, or
because the guy that owns Brewing Projekt, and he was speaking on behalf of all the craft breweries in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, honestly, guys, in typical politician way, they make it so complicated because he owned a brewery, but then his wife worked at a bar, so they weren't going to give him a license because that crosses over. She didn't own the bar; she just worked at a bar.
Gee,
and so he had to go through all these hoops and like put the brewery in as like his dad's name or something. They had all these hoops they had to jump through, and they were basically, he was talking in front of the Wisconsin State Assembly or Congress, whatever, and trying to say this is crazy. This shouldn't be, because this is when the state was going to try and make it to where like breweries could not have tap rooms.
Oh,
because that was a crossover.
That was even more than what they would let.
Right. And that got voted down. So that was a good thing. But the speech that he gave, it really opened my eyes to just what they had to deal with, and it was crazy, so I give the guy credit. He was a very sharp businessman, and he makes good beer.
Yeah.
He finally finished it.
Yeah.
Nice. You want some more?
What's next? Let's try it next so we can cleanse our palate with it.
Let's move on.
All right. So we're going to go to Stout by Bent Paddle Brewing in Duluth, Minnesota. And
it's on Lake Superior, right?
Oh yeah. So, can't lie, Jim. That is on Lake Superior.
So do we have any? Oh, well, I'll let you finish.
Okay,
I got a question for you.
I'm going to read. This is what their description was. This 10-year anniversary Imperial Stout is a rich and complex beer that celebrates a decade of excellence. With a dark mahogany color and a creamy tan head, this beer offers aromas of roasted malt, chocolate, and coffee. On the palate, flavors of dark chocolate, caramel, and molasses are balanced by a subtle hop bitterness and a warming alcohol presence.
Ooh.
The mouthfeel is full-bodied and luxurious, with a smooth and velvety texture that lingers long after each sip. This beer is to be savored and enjoyed, a testament to the skill and dedication of the brewers who have crafted it, and it is 9.2% ABV.
And Ron, don't you have some background on this that you can tell the podcast people about?
Well, a good friend of ours, his son is, well, I don't know if you'd call him the master brewer or the
brewmaster. Or?
No, I don't. He doesn't. He does their experimental stuff. He's not the in charge of the entire brewery or anything.
No.
He has his own little room.
He does the small batch stuff.
Okay.
Experimental stuff.
Yep.
So is he tied into this beer that we're about to try?
Well, when we asked his dad, he didn't know.
Right.
So there is a possibility.
There is a possibility.
So then I think that's close enough to say that he did part of it, right?
Well,
he was there.
He possibly could have had something to do with this, but he has had several gold medal brews in the past, and
well, I mean,
I don't know exactly if he had anything to do with this beer.
Part of this podcast is when you come here, you have to have all of the facts and information.
All of the facts.
So we can tell the podcast listeners, because they want to know.
So
the inquiring minds out there want to know and listen to this because Ron has all the info.
Well, that may be true, and it may be not true. So, in this case, I don't know.
Wow. All right. Well, let's give this thing a whirl.
And this is in a pint can.
My goodness.
It's dark.
That's a dark one.
It does have a tan head.
Yep, it sure does.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is what was the ABV? This is only
9.2.
And it said 48 IBUs.
Yes.
Now the aroma is good. What? I'm trying to come up with the flavors.
Yeah, because it said caramel, molasses, what else did it say?
Flavors of dark chocolate,
caramel, and molasses.
Definitely get a dark chocolate hint.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's molasses on the finish. Because it seems like it could be. Like sticks to your tongue, the flavor.
Mm-hmm. And you do notice the hops a little. It's not like an IPA hops, but you do get that kind of on the end.
No, there's no hops. This is not an IPA anyway. I'm just telling you.
No, Ron, I had an idea for a podcast, and it was what drives you to drinking. You always hear that saying that, you're going to drive me to drinking. Well, I had always said, well, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but today I am. Jim drives me to drink.
Well, I can see why that is.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
No offense, of course.
No, yeah, no offense, none taken.
None taken. Thanks. Just kick me right to Jimmy's next time. Wow.
But you know, this will ease the pain a bit.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Got a little different flavor to it. And I wondered, like you said, Jim, if it is the molasses that.
And again, I think for the listeners out there, we've tried a few Imperial Stouts before.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one thing that we're probably the most familiar with. So I think that's why because the podcast listeners are probably getting the same thing. We're not talking about it. So then when you're not talking about it means there's something that you're trying to, you're trying to figure out what that flavor is.
Right.
You know, I think that's a lot of people we can talk around the edges.
You know, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing that, but we are out in the Northwoods and there's some kind of a hum going on.
Mike, you're the only one that hears it. It's nothing.
It's like dog ears.
Yeah. You're the only one that hears it. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping I am because that's like,
Hopefully it doesn't mean something is ready to blow up.
Yeah.
It's off now.
Because I don't hear a lot of air conditioners running here in the camper, so I don't know what that is. All right, back to the beer.
So that's why I'm struggling with it because it's in my opinion, it's not a bad beer. It's not, but there's the way they've mixed this compared to other Imperial stouts that we've had.
Yep,
it has a different flavor.
Yep.
Yes.
But it's not a bad. It's just different.
Correct.
So I get that's what I'm struggling with trying to come up. What is that on the back? I don't know if it's some molasses or what that is, but there's something different on the finish.
It's a thicker beer for one thing,
and I mean, I think that what we've found from a lot of different beers that are making the heavy beers like this is that it does take a little while to get to perfect the craft of these heavier beers.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You know, so I think they're on the right track.
Right.
I think they may not be where they want to be, but I think they're moving in the right direction.
I'm not familiar with them making too many Imperial Stouts besides this one.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe this could be a trial in that direction.
Right.
I think they're going in a good direction, but like Jim said, it's a little different than other Imperial Stouts.
Yep.
You know,
and like, you're right, Ron. If this is, let's say this could possibly be one of the first ones they've done. Let's just say, because we don't know. Yeah. But if it is, I mean, it's a very good first try.
Right. It'll just take some.
Well, do you want to start off, Mike? You want to give us a roll?
Yeah, I like I said, it's got a little different flavor to it. Yeah. It's different than what I'm used to, I guess, and such. You know, and I'm going to go like a 3.4. It's definitely good, but it's just that little different flavor to it that I can't pinpoint what it is, if it's the molasses or what. But it's definitely a different thing, and 3.4.
All right, and I think I'm torn on this one because I like Imperial Stout so much. Mm-hmm. And that's really what I like. I mean, I would take an Imperial Stout over any other beer, any other time, without a doubt. So I've had several, and I base this score based on having several of those. This is a good beer. I think they're on the right track, but it's not there yet. So I think that's where my score is going to be a little lower. So I'm going to go like a 3.0 just because it's not, I don't think it's quite there. There's something, I mean, I've had my last drink several minutes ago and I still haven't got it out of my, my mouth yet. That mouth feel is still there, which sometimes is good, but sometimes you want that to all go away. Sure. So I'm going to stick with a 3.0.
Ron, what do you think of it?
Well, I agree a lot with Jim. Imperial Stouts are amongst my favorite beers. And my feeling is this one may be in the building stage, experimental, perhaps. I'm gonna go with the 3.0.
Okay.
All right. For you though, that's not bad though.
Well, I think it's a good beginning. Right. It's not bad. It's good, but it needs some work.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. So, Jim, being our 25th episode, when you look back on all these weeks.
Wow, that is painful.
What kind of stands out in your mind? I mean, honestly, going from we should do this to actually doing it, it's been quite a thing.
Quite an adventure, huh? Yeah. Well, I guess the good part to this is you're always seeing new people like Ron. He's almost like a vagrant. He's like walking by.
He's like a vagrant? Is that what you said?
He walks up and joins us. So you just never know who's might join you.
Right. So
I guess that's the good part about this.
Yep.
People randomly show up.
Yep.
They're not bad people.
Right? Yep.
Oh, Ron.
Well, you gotta be careful how you use that word.
So I think that's good that other people are part of this.
Yep.
But on the bad side, I still got some wounds on my leg where that groundhog attacked me and almost ripped my leg off.
But you got to tell your story.
Yeah, but how do I had multiple surgeries now to fix all the wounds that this groundhog has given me. So I probably even had rabies and I didn't even know it. So that is so people are out there laughing and I can't even drink a beer because I'm in surgery.
It's okay. We were watching and we were drinking beer for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I usually, instead of anesthesia, I usually get beer in surgery.
I thought I could, but my wife didn't bring it. She just left me hanging. I called Mike. He didn't even answer his phone.
Yeah.
So I was just grasping for straws.
Oh my God.
And nobody wanted to help out.
It's terrible.
I feel sorry
so that's the other extreme to it.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging out with you it's okay.
Well, good. I'm glad.
So how about yourself? What do you think?
Well, like I said, just going from having an idea to, let's try it, and the fact, odds are we'd have been drinking the beers anyway,
Yeah.
but
probably not with Ron, though.
Oh yeah, we had a beer tasting, you would have.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
where there's beer, I'm here.
See?
There you go. He's got the rhyme going.
Again, he's a poet and didn't know it. Yeah, it's been fun, so hopefully it goes for a million more weeks. And
sometimes it feels like I'm just getting drugged through glass all the time.
Wow,
painful yet satisfying.
Especially when we're doing IPAs and sours.
Yeah, that is not the funnest part of beer drinking.
But again, I give you credit, because you have started slowly to expand your palate a little bit. You don't almost throw up on every IPA or sour.
I think if people tried the same beers that I'd tried and actually kept them down, they'd be thrown up. They are that bad.
All right.
I think that you just you don't let me see it, and you puke it in the pail. It's on the backside.
No, that's not it at all.
Yeah.
You're talking crazy talk.
So, Mike, I think that the listeners are going to be probably amazed at what the next beer that we have coming up.
Yeah. I bought this. Well, I bought 3 different anniversary ones from the same company. I got them down in Peoria, Illinois. I hadn't seen them anywhere else, and I saw them there, and I thought, dang, I'm going to try these. And this is the first one here we're going to try. It's by Firestone Walker.
Yep.
And this is their 23rd anniversary. So I bought 23, 24, and 25. So we're going to try 23 to begin with. And it's kind of neat. The label on the neck of the bottle says, "Beer Before Glory."
All right.
That's pretty cool. And it's got bears and a lion on the label. It's pretty cool. We'll take a picture and show you. It's 11.5%. But Jim, why don't you...
So I think what's good about this beer, too, is it's individually packaged in its own box.
Yep.
And then inside each box, there is this has got to be 14.
Oh, it's probably 14? Legal size, at least 11.5 by, it's not that wide, but it's longer than a normal piece of paper.
Front and back, talking about this brew that they made.
Yep.
And I think what intrigued me, and hopefully that it follows through on the taste part, is that this is made in California, in the wine country.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about here, since founding their brewery in 1996, they have specialized in the rare art of brewing beer in oak barrels.
Okay.
In the fall of 2006, they released a limited edition oak-aged strong ale called 10 to commemorate their 10th anniversary. That beer was blended with the help of their local winemaking friends, and the experience was greater than we ever imagined. Now they're presenting, which we're going to try, 23, which would be their 14th release, and now it is an annual autumn right at their brewery.
Okay.
So and again, I don't think I've had this style of beer. I don't know if you've had, but from what it sounds like in the write-up here, they have a bunch of different vineyards close by the brewery, individually brew beers, and then they kind of blend it together like a bourbon.
Huh.
So should I read the...
Yeah, go for it, man.
So the beer that we're going to try today, the final blend, so I'm assuming they had a portion and this doesn't say how much of each, but these are the ones that were in there. So the first one, Sticky Monkey, which was brewed at 10.4 ABV, then aged in bourbon barrels at 28%. that's a Central Coastal Quad. Number 2 is a Parabola, 14.4% ABV, aged in bourbon barrels at 28%. And that's the Russian Imperial
Not
Stout.
to cut you off, I'm looking at that same from one of the other ones, and I think what that means, Jim, is that the 28%, that's how much is in here.
That's the percentage
That's the
of 100?
percentage of 100 that is in it. So like 28% is whichever. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so let's start.
So we've got 2 28%.
Yeah.
So
that's 56% of the beer are those two.
All right. So number 3 is Bravo, which is 11.5% ABV, aged in bourbon barrels. That's at 20%.
Okay, so now we're at 76%.
Okay, and that's the Imperial Brown Ale. Then number 4 is the Bourbon Barrel Eldorado, 11.5% ABV, aged in bourbon barrels. That's 15% of the total.
So 91.
Okay, so that was a blonde barley wine.
Okay.
Number 5 is the Velvet Merkin. That was a 9% ABV, aged in bourbon barrels, 5%.
Okay.
So we're at
96.
Okay, and that was the Milk Stout.
Okay.
And our last beer, number 6, part of this blend, is a Tequila Barrel Eldorado, 11.9%, and that was aged in tequila barrels.
Okay.
And that was the final 4%. So all of those different beers have been blended
into this bottle.
Into this one bottle. So for me, it's really
interesting
intriguing
to see how it is. One thing that's on this bottle that is really kind of cool, it has on here, store at 40 degrees Fahrenheit, serve at 55 degrees. So, we've always talked about wanting
warming them up,
what they should be at when you serve them, but not when you store them.
Oh, there you go.
That's kind of an interesting thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Because not many people have their fridge set at 40.
Right.
It's usually right above freezing to keep everything as cold as possible.
Yep. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's see.
We're taking the leap of faith for all the listeners out there to see how this goes. Ron, are you ready for this?
Well, I certainly am. The hype has got me excited.
And just the fact that they have, was it six different beers?
6 different beers blended together.
Because there was another brewery that they used to always blend 2 beers together.
Right.
They were okay, but this should be.
I mean, because a lot of bourbons are blended together.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're taking their slant on it to come up with a good beer. So let's see.
Well, my first taste is that they've succeeded at making a very good blend.
Wow.
This is very tasty.
Wow,
that's good.
Now, did we come up with, what was ABV? Did we see?
11.5.
But it doesn't taste like a very high alcohol content.
No.
This is very well crafted beer.
Wow.
This is a masterpiece.
This is very good.
This is in that upper echelon again, I think.
Yes.
This is
in a class by its own.
This is great because
it's drawing the honeybees.
Some kind of bee is flying around here.
Yeah, whatever.
Let it go, bee. Let it go. I know your relatives are gone.
They like it. They like it too.
Wow. This is
very good.
Unfortunately, that first we had the burn. This has no burn.
This is no burn at all.
This has no burn.
That is just wild.
This flavor. I mean, Firestone did a great job.
We've had other Firestone Walker beers, and they've all been really good.
This is,
and it's like, this is wow. Now it's just like, okay, because we have some other anniversary beers. We have 2 more of these. We got to decide, okay, do we want to try another one of these, or I think we'll go to a different one.
You want to leave the?
Then we can always go back and do 24 if we want to. We'll see how it goes, but this is good.
Wow,
this is excellent. I give this a.
Ron, he ain't even waiting for you. He's jumping right in.
All right, go ahead, Ron.
I give this some very high ranks. This is very good.
All right. Well, you stole the show.
Man. What are you going to do for stars?
Don't be bashful.
I'm going 4 or 5.
Whoa, Ron, are you sure?
Well, I am positive because I don't know if I've had too many beers as good as this one.
Yeah. Okay.
This is quite delicious. They did their homework on this one. With all those blended beers in here, it must have taken some time to get this.
That's the thing that shocks me, is to take all those different beers and blend it together and come up with something.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Well, and I unfortunately always revert back to Avery that uses a lot of sugar to cover up the high alcohol. There's no.
No, I don't think there's any.
This is flavor.
I don't think there's any cover up going on here. This is just a very well crafted beer.
Yes.
Superbly crafted beer.
Jim, what do you think?
So I again have to revert back to the Pappy Van Winkle that we had a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
That was, in my opinion, very, very, very good. I mean, I think it is still to this day the best beer I've ever had in my life.
Mhm.
This beer is up there. I don't think it passes Pappy though.
Oh no.
So I think it's in that discussion of superior beers for me.
Mhm.
And I think that if I remember correctly, you and I probably gave our max before the Pappy beer was probably a 4.5.
Mhm.
I think this one's a 4.6. I think it's just a step above those other ones.
This will sound extremely funny, Jim, but that's the number I was going for.
Really?
4.6.
No,
I just think they have the blending they did. This is a unbelievably crafted beer. This is really good, and I agree with you. I think that the Pappy Van Winkle Central Waters is still the top beer we've ever had, but this is a close second right now. I think it totally it surprised me. I knew, like I said, I've had other Firestone beers. I knew they were good, but this is outstanding.
It is very outstanding.
My only wish was that they would sell that in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I've never seen
you said
it here.
Was down in Illinois.
In Illinois, I found it. So I'm going to have to go back and see if they have the newer ones.
So these were this one was, what year was this about? This is 2019?
This was 2019 is when the 23 came out. So then 2020 and 2021 are the other two I have, and that's the 24th and 25th.
All right.
So yeah, this, like I said, they did a great job. This is, like I said, just taking all those flavors. How do you figure out to take all those flavors, mix it, and here you go? In those percentages. Too.
Right.
That's the crazy part.
I mean, this is not an overnight success story. This has taken some time. A lot of, just looking on here. So I'm going to count the number of wineries that were involved with this.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 different wineries were involved to make this one bottle of beer.
Really?
Yeah. That's, to me, amazing to be able to work the magic to blend this.
It had to taken a while to do it.
Oh, for
they
sure.
They did an incredible job.
For sure.
That's good.
It's good.
That's all you can say.
Very good. Yeah. I'm pleasantly savoring every drink out of my cup.
Yeah, that is something.
Wow.
Well, let's see. So, in 25 episodes, we've tried a lot of beers.
Yes, a wide variety, too.
Wide variety of beers. And everybody knows by now, the Pappy Van Winkle Central Waters was our top beer. The Firestone Walker was our second one now.
Yes.
But, you look on, we have not really had a terrible beer.
Oh, dude.
We've had some that have not been very good, but not. Well, I know. Okay,
the sours have not been good.
I should clarify because you don't like sours, and you weren't a huge fan of IPAs. I was actually thinking we should do a double IPA. I did build a 6-pack of those too. Yeah,
I got double IPAs. I wonder if Ron should be involved in that one.
I look at it this way. If you didn't like them, why do you buy them?
Well, the number one reason is because Mike says we got to try something different, something that he hasn't had before.
There you go.
So I'm like, well, I know I haven't had that.
Sure.
So I figure if I'm going to go to build your own 6-pack and it looks like, I'm like, well, I know I don't drink double IPAs. So maybe Mike hasn't. So we've been lucky so far. A majority of the ones, not all of them, but a large percentage.
Neither of us have had.
Right.
So it's been really cool.
And I'm glad. I just wish, I think I don't know, I hate to harp on it, but I wish more liquor stores would do the variety pack like that.
Right.
Because I think that's how people try beers.
Yep.
You're going to go buy one beer, see if it's good, and then go back and get some more.
Yep.
You don't want to buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack and then end up having to give it to Mike to have him drink it. Right, Ron?
Well, I always give a beer to Mike and say, is Mikey drinking it? As in, is Mikey eating it?
Oh, like Wheaties.
Like the old commercials.
That was Life cereal, by the way.
Was that Life?
Oh, yeah. That ruined me.
Oh.
Is Mikey drinking it?
Give it to Mikey. He'll try anything.
He'll try anything.
Yeah, I tell you what. Oh, yeah. So, guys, which way do we want to go? Do we want to do the 30th anniversary?
Want to do the quadruple?
We can do, we've got 2 30th anniversaries.
Oh, that's right.
Because we have the Samuel Smith and we have the new
Well, how about we let Ron pick?
Yeah.
Well, how long a segment is this going to be?
Well,
we're going for 2 hours.
Well, no. We got 3
2 or 3 here?
We got 3 right now.
3 done?
We're going to probably do 2 more.
Yeah, okay.
So which one? Well, you pick. You want the winter or you want the...
Belgian quad.
But the Belgian quad sounds interesting to me.
Okay. All right.
What exactly is that?
So we're going to, the next beer we're going to go to, we let Ron pick, and he came up with this one. I have to find my notes that Jim gave me. It is from New Glarus, and it is their 30th anniversary Belgian quadruple. But I have to find my...
There it is right at the top.
Oh, here we go.
By the...
Yep.
There it is.
All right. So the write-up that they gave was, brewing for our Wisconsin friends since 1993 deserves celebration. This Belgian quad is a hearty combination of Czech, German, and American malted barley. Rich, luxurious raisin, vanilla, dried fruit, and dark chocolate notes pervade. New Glarus Estate and German Diamant, D-I-A-M-A-N-T, Diamant hops champion subtle notes of cinnamon and clove. Belgian dark candy sugar pushes the original gravity to 24 degrees Plato. Be warned, Dan's balanced artistry conceals a 10.5% ABV. This is a voluminous brew ready to be savored tonight or laid down to celebrate a future occasion.
Wow. Well, sounds like a lot of good things in there.
Yeah. And it's in a
little can,
12-ounce can. It's a neat, it's kind of their normal label, I think, isn't it? I think it looks pretty well.
I think it was hard. I think there's a couple cans that came out almost look similar to it.
Oh yeah, yes, I've seen those. Yep. And again, it has the only in Wisconsin because that's the only place they're available. And if that bee keeps flying around,
well, their specialty beers are usually pretty good.
Oh yeah. So this is their 30th anniversary Belgian quadruple.
It looks dark.
It looks really nice. Like
it's dark brown.
Dark amber.
Even the head is kind of tannish brown.
Yep. Well, it's got a fresh smell to it.
Fresh
and
oh yeah, you can smell kind of that Belgian.
Wow, that's interesting.
That is not bad.
That is very interesting.
That is not bad at all.
That doesn't taste like 10.5.
Oh,
that's pretty smooth.
That is some good beer.
Belgian.
I like that.
Wow, that's really good.
It is good.
And it's funny because, of course, New Glarus, what they're known for, spotted cow.
Right.
And this is good.
This is really good beer. Good. I'm impressed by this.
Do you guys taste raisins?
No, but I definitely get that Belgian flavor. You know what I mean? From I'm guessing it's the Belgian yeast and such. It's got kind of that little bit of almost like a weedy type flavor to it. But
that's good. I don't taste the raisins or vanilla, dried fruit, dark chocolate. You guys taste those things? I mean, it's a good beer. I just don't. If these were the ingredients they said were in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's such a good combination of everything.
You think?
That it's just delicious. Hard to pinpoint any one.
Right. Because like you said, it doesn't, like the vanilla, the dark chocolate, none of it really stands out. But I think you're right though, Ron. It kind of all melds together and works really well, I think.
It's extremely well balanced.
Yep. Well, do you want to go first then, Ron? You like this one or what?
Well, I'll give it a 3.75.
Nice.
All right.
I like this. I think it's very well made. Very, very tasty. I think it's a very good 30-year example of what they can do.
Oh, all right.
I think they've come a long way, and they make good beer. But this is...
you like this one?
This is a good beer.
All right. Mike, what do you think?
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go like a 3.8. I think for a Belgian quad, it is a very good example of a Belgian quadruple. I know, like you said, you don't really taste the vanilla or the stuff doesn't jump out at you, but I think it's a very good, very smooth. 10.5% doesn't drink anything like a 10.5%. I 3.8. I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to echo what you guys are saying. I think I'm going to go with 3.7 on it. I like the beer, good flavor, but when you read the write-up on it and the things that they want to put into it, you kind of wonder yourself, did they actually put all these in there or are they not in there? So that's where I struggle. I think these things you're going to put in the beer, they sound good, and that's why I wanted to try it, because those raisin, vanilla, dried fruit, dark chocolate are stuff that I'd like to taste in your beer. So I don't know if they cancel each other out or what happened.
Sure.
That's the only thing.
I think they're extremely well balanced, because I have no doubt they're in there. They're not going to lie about that. But it's such a good balance that you can't pick any one out.
I agree with you, Ron. That's a perfect way to say it.
But is that how you want to brew your beer, though?
Well,
so that
I guess
you don't want one of these flavors to come out.
I guess.
Right? I'd like to taste that flavor. I'd like to say, oh, you know what? I can taste that raisin. I can taste the vanilla.
I can taste the raisin.
You a funny guy. Wow.
I do think it's a good beer.
No, it's a very good beer. I mean, I think all of our scores represent that it's a good beer.
Yep.
I think the way I read the scores are, I think we're looking for a little more.
Oh, sure.
I think
is this on the caliber of the Firestone Walker? No.
Right.
But this is a very good beer.
Well,
and especially being a Belgian beer, this is a very good Belgian beer.
As far as New Glarus is concerned, I've had quite a few of their beers, and they usually come out with a good product. And this one is.
Would you drink this one again?
Oh, of course I would. I think it's a good after dinner beer. You know, it's just very tasty, very well balanced, very well made.
New Glarus knows what they're doing when they brew beer. There's no doubt about that. I just would like some of those other flavors to shine through.
Oh.
I think the flavors. I like those flavors. I'd like to be able to taste them too.
I think a lot of people think about Wisconsin, they think about Glarus.
Yes, they do.
So there you go.
Miller, Pabst, New Glarus.
You know, it's funny because we went to New Glarus just a few weeks ago, and it is kind of funny because they talk about that one of the games that people like to play is to see how many different state license plates are in the parking lot. Because, you know, like we talked about last time, or a couple weeks ago,
right,
that there's people come from all over the nation to go to New Glarus. I mean, it's just crazy how much of a following they have.
Well, a lot of people like their beer.
Yep.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jim. So I'm looking forward to the future.
Oh yes, the future.
So we have many more episodes coming.
Well, only if you invite me. You might.
I might have found a new co-host now because Ron is like way easier to work with.
He's quite intriguing.
Yes.
Well, just give me beer and give me lots of money. I'll be very happy to work.
Wait a second. He's talking about money all of a sudden.
And I didn't get paid. You're paying your guest?
Ron.
Wait a minute. I'm
remember that was different conversation. Sorry, Jim.
I'm getting a signal that
Jim, the check's in the mail. I told you that. I told you.
This is a labor of love here.
Yes, that's what it was.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
No, this is a lot of labor to do with Mike.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to keep, plugging along.
Keep trying to do, unless we run out of beer.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
You think there's going to be enough beer?
I think there'll be enough beer to keep us going. And, I like I said, I think odds are we'd be doing it anyway. But now it's just, and like I said, just giving our opinions on stuff. And, there's really not a lot of other shows out there that are kind of doing that. And I have a good time doing it. And, Ron, thank you so much for being on the last few of these with us.
Whoa. I didn't say thanks. He's like pushing me out of the way.
Oh, well.
Wow.
I suppose the next time you're going to want to have a coriander class when Ron is on here with us.
No, let's do the coriander when Ron's here.
That's what I'm saying. When he's here, you're wanting to do it.
And see how he reacts.
But we'd have to beep out a lot of words. So.
Oh, that's a bad word.
Is that like squash?
It's like a swirl.
Kind of like squish, yeah. Well, boys, we got another beer here.
All right. So this one, Mike.
Yes.
So I think this is like an audible that we had to play.
Yep.
So I brought it up, not knowing if we need it, but this is one of those I think I bought on a Black Friday deal.
Okay. Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, and I think Ron might even be able to correct me. The Samuel Smith, they have a dark chocolate.
One of the best ones I remember is that organic chocolate stout. Yes.
So that was like one of the very first craft beers I ever had was that organic chocolate stout. Yeah. So I think that's why when I saw the same name and it was an anniversary beer, I'm like, well, they did a really good job on that.
Yep.
I think that still rates up there in the fours for us.
That's a good beer.
And that's been several years ago. So I saw this beer and I'm like, well, it's... they seem like they've cracked the code on how to do good craft beers. So I thought maybe it'd be something we could try. But I know this is not the wintertime.
Right.
But it's a 30th anniversary one. So I thought, well, maybe it'll tie into what we're doing so far today.
Yep. And Samuel Smith, I believe, is from England, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's imported.
Oh, are we going to knock them down for that?
No, because they make good beer. And I think Ron is reading the...
It's only 6% ABV.
It's 6% ABV.
So it's not going to be...
That's the one thing with their beers are kind of on the little bit lower side, which is good.
But it's a big bottle.
It's a big bottle.
Is it a pint?
It's got to be at least that. Here, let's see it, Ron. So this beer, Samuel Smith's Winter Welcome Ale. This is the 30th Winter Welcome Anniversary.
Nice.
Let's see. Brewed at Yorkshire's oldest brewery, blessing of your heart to brew good ale. William Shakespeare said that. And I like Shakespeare.
You like Bill, huh?
Bill's a good guy. So on the back, it says, this seasonal beer is a limited edition brewed for the short days and long nights of winter. The full body resulting from fermentation in stone Yorkshire squares, and the luxurious malt character, which will appeal to a broad range of drinkers, is balanced against whole dried Fuggle and Golding hops.
Fuggle.
With nuances and complexities that should be contemplated before an open fire.
Wow.
Interesting.
So we do have an open fire.
Well, we have an open fire pit that there's currently not a fire going, unfortunately.
Do we need a fire?
Well, we need to be in an English pub.
Yes.
In front of the fireplace in the middle of winter.
To drink this, huh? So
Well, we can drink it now because we're thirsty.
We can
it's
just-
hot. And
we can just imagine that we're there.
we can imagine we have a parka on.
well, imagine that you're in an English pub.
Mike
in
hasn't
front
been.
of a fire.
Have you been in an Irish or an English pub?
Oh yeah.
Have you?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
A real one.
Not just a.
Not in like Ireland or England.
Oh.
I've been in some Irish pubs in Peoria, Illinois that are really good. But no, I have not been. BK has been in Irish pubs and English pubs because for work he's been over there. And
So Mike, just FYI,
yes.
your credibility's dropping. You're going down a few pegs.
I know. Got to do what I got to do.
Ron, do you believe this? You and I are the only ones that actually drank.
So you've been in an Irish or English, actual legitimate in Ireland or England?
No, in Spain.
Wait a second. Whoa.
So
I didn't say a Spanish pub.
So if you're familiar with Europe.
Wait a minute. Okay, right.
Are you familiar with Europe?
He's trash
Wait a
talking
minute.
me, and
It seems to me that
So are you familiar with Europe?
Spain is kind of a
little
long ways
ways
away from Europe.
So apparently you guys are not familiar with Europe.
oh yeah.
Oh,
But when-
apparently,
So
But when
in
I
Europe,
said, hang on. When I said, yeah, I was in Illinois. Oh no, you weren't in Ireland or England either.
so
Okay.
in Europe,
Tell us your story. Yes.
the Mediterranean is where the northern Europeans come down. That's where they vacation.
Okay.
on the Spanish Riviera.
Anywhere along the Mediterranean.
Okay. So you talk to these people and you say, have you ever been in a pub
Yep.
in England in front of a raging fire in the middle of winter, sipping on some of this
Samuel Smith.
Samuel Smith beverage? And they say, and they look at you like,
They go, yeah.
are you crazy or
No. So-
no, they look at you like, well, sure.
So I was on a port call
Mhm.
in the city of Malaga, Spain.
Okay. Where like, what?
So you know where Gibraltar is?
Yes.
Yep.
The beginning of the Mediterranean.
Yep.
And you go up about 100 miles along
Okay.
the coast is
Okay.
Malaga.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of Antonio Banderas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is he from there?
That's where he was born.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
A couple weeks ago, I don't know if you watched the USA basketball, the men's basketball international.
I did not see
That
that.
was played in Malaga, Spain.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were there.
So in those cities along the Mediterranean, when a lot of the northerners come down, from Ireland, England, Germany,
Yep.
they have specific bars set up for that.
Okay.
So there are several Irish bars. I mean, it is owned by an Irishman. Everything's
You're kidding.
oh no, it's just like, that's where we'd always go.
That's cool.
So it was not in Ireland or England, but
Yep. But it was
those people, that's how they would bring all those vacationers into
Well,
Malaga.
that is interesting.
That is wild. Yeah, I had no idea.
Malaga's a huge tourist
Okay.
zone. I mean,
What is like the big draw to that?
so
city?
Malaga has a huge bullfighting ring.
Oh,
Huge.
Okay.
That we walked up above the hill, looked down above the port where our ship was.
Yep.
You were taller, you were above the bullfighting ring. I mean, it was huge.
Huh.
So it's I would go back there easily.
So they had all of these, like you said, like Irish pubs, English pubs, German,
Every
houses,
whatever
houses, and
nationality that would have, and then when you went there, I mean, we drove there in small groups, and it would just be. I mean, I still remember singing with all the, because Irish, they would all sing the songs. Everybody,
sure.
Everybody's singing together. Everybody's like arm on your shoulder. You're singing together. Having big. That's the way. I mean, the very first place we walked into had a black and tan, and the guy had his spoon upside down.
Yep, and then
doing the black and tan, and it took him like 15 minutes to get me one beer.
Oh yeah,
I mean, and the beer was just tremendous.
sure.
So, I mean, I would go back, and well, maybe not now in this tumultuous world, but it was worth.
Huh?
And we did that over Christmas.
Really?
That was our Christmas port stop.
How long ago, roughly, do you think?
So that
was?
would have been in 1999.
Okay, nice.
That was there. So almost 25 years ago.
Have you tasted this beer?
No, I have not.
Okay. That's cool though, because like I said, I've only been in like Irish pubs here in the States, and there's some. I mean, they look just like what
Right.
you mentioned, but it's not the same. But they definitely have a lot of the one in Peoria that we go to a number of times. The food is really good. It's Irish food, but they got some really good food. The beers, they have a lot of different beers. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But they do have Untappd. They'll have your Guinness, your Kilkenny, your Boddingtons, your what you think about of those type of beers, and it's really a cool deal. But it would be cool sometime to go to Ireland, go to an actual one.
That was the first place I ever had sangria.
Really
in Spain, Spanish sangria, which was like very good. But we were like our legs, we couldn't even we were like Jello legs walking out of there. It was so good.
Did you go to see a bullfight or no?
No, they didn't have any of that at that time.
Okay, because that's
I don't know if there's specific times when they have, because most of the times, they let the bulls out at one lot and then they run them through the town.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
That's how they do it. No, that's how they do it. They run the bulls.
You didn't do the running of the bulls with
no. I mean, they have certain cities where there's television, but they do it all the time.
But like
that's how
the famous one,
bullfight, they run them through the town.
Yeah, like the famous one, that's through Pamplona, isn't it? Where they run the running of the bulls,
but every town does the same thing,
and all the people
before their bullfights.
Before their bullfights to get the bulls into the ring.
That's crazy.
No, I've heard Mexican bullfights. I always wanted to go to one until somebody told me about. They had been to one, and it's
not as cool, or
no.
Okay,
no, it's actually can be pretty gruesome.
Oh, sure.
Oh, well, there's no doubt. I mean, for both the animal and the people.
Well, I was going to say,
people can get injured pretty easily on those.
Trampled. I look at it, would I want to go to a bullfight? Not really. No. I really don't have a desire.
No, I that kind of ended my wanting to do that.
Right.
Because, it's...
Yeah. But I think it's more of a tradition for that country than it is.
Yes.
It's not like for us to go see, because we're kind of distanced from how they do things in their tradition, and I think there's a whole different perspective that unless we had somebody from there that would tell us all that, it would be different.
All right. Well, hey, what do we think for a score on this?
So this is the Winter
Welcome Samuel Smith Winter Welcome Ale. Yep, 6%.
6%. So I'm trying to find something bad about it. It's not a bad beer. I mean, 6%. It's not.
Is this supposed to be drank at a certain temperature, or
it did not say? That it did not say.
I mean, I like the beer. I mean, it's not bad.
No, it's just different. I mean,
it's different.
It's different than anything I've ever had.
Yeah, it doesn't go into, other than those two hops that it talked about, it doesn't really go into, what other flavors that we should be tasting.
That's what's hard for me to try to differentiate, because we go for this category has covered the whole spectrum.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we're not, I don't think we've had two of the same beer styles, have we?
I don't think so.
In this theme, the only theme is anniversary.
Yep, it was just anniversary. Because, like I said, it's our 25th episode, so it's a 25th anniversary.
Gosh, I'm so torn between. I think. All right, I'm gonna go 3.8. I can't think of anything bad. But it's above. I mean, it's definitely above average. It's not. They did a good job doing it. But there's a couple of flavors in there that I'm not quite are not sinking in with me. I guess that's wrong.
Not sure what they are for sure.
It's a well-made beer. It's drinkable. It's just a little different than what we're accustomed to.
Yes.
I think it's a good beer.
So what are you thinking on stars?
I'll go with 3.7. I mean,
so the last one, your Belgian quad, was a 3.7. Want to keep the same number?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can do that. Mike?
I think it's good. I'm not quite at the level that you're at on it. On the finish, it has a little bitter thing to me.
Right.
I'm going to go like a 3.4.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's still a very good beer. It's above average for sure.
Yes.
It just has and I wish they would have gave us a little bit more breakdown on maybe some of the other flavors that we're tasting.
Right.
But I agree with you. Their organic chocolate stout is one of the amazing beer. This one isn't quite at that level, but it's good. And like I said, for a winter, I don't know what a winter welcome.
Well, maybe
if that's a certain kind of style overseas. I don't know, but it's good. Yeah.
Maybe if you have other winter ales to compare it to.
Yeah. And that we'll look for in the wintertime.
Well, I'll keep checking.
Yeah.
From over, in Europe, because I've never had anything like this before. But it's good.
It's good, yeah.
All right, Ron. So now we're at the point where we're going to try to wrap things up. We got 5 different beers, and their only link is that they're an anniversary.
Yeah, so they were all across the board. Yeah. But,
so if you want to give us maybe your top 1 or 2, and then what you thought about the category.
Well, I thought that Barleywine was quite good. I haven't really had much in the line of that type of drink.
Okay.
But I thought that was very good.
All right.
And that one,
Firestone, that was the 23 year.
That was definitely extraordinary beer.
You would drink another one of those?
Oh, yes. I would drink several of them.
All right.
If you bought me some, I would drink them.
All right, well, maybe we can get Mike to work on that one.
Yeah, when I go back down to Illinois, I'll check it out and get some more.
What'd you think of the whole category overall? Because
it
is so diverse.
To me, it was like a dive into something I'm not real familiar with.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it because most of it was good, It was interesting.
Because there's definitely no 2 beers were the same.
No.
They're all different.
I mean, it's very different from our usual
beer tasting.
Yep.
So does that mean it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. I wasn't anything there that I didn't like.
Okay. Which is
I thought
good.
they were all well made.
So you would, if Mike asked you to come back again to try it, would you?
So on our 50th anniversary, you'd come back?
If I was walking by and I was really thirsty and it was a really hot day,
you could help?
I would stop in.
Or if it was a cold winter day and we called him and told him he might stop in too, I would imagine.
Right. If you had a roaring fire
and some good beer.
And some good beer.
You would help.
He is our guy.
I would be there. If there's beer, I'll be there.
There you go. So yeah, Jim, I'd say my number 1 by far was the Firestone Walker.
Okay.
That was just head and shoulders above everything. My number 2 was the Barleywine.
Oh, you like that?
I did really like the Barleywine. It did warm. It warmed you all the way from your mouth to your tummy.
Yep.
I will say that. But I did think that was good, and I thought that was just a little bit better. Well, a couple steps up from the Belgian quad by New Glarus. So I think that was my top 3 for sure.
All right, and again, for me, the Firestone, kudos, best beer. I mean, this is one of those that were head and shoulders, again.
Outstanding.
Above. I mean, it was almost like the Pappy Van Winkle.
Yep.
Head and shoulders above everything else we tasted. So it's unfortunate for the other beers that the Firestone was part of this because the Firestone beer was so good.
Right.
I mean, I really like that beer. I'm just amazed at the craftsmanship and quality, the way they were able to blend that beer together. Just truly amazing. And then for me, the next one is this last one, the Winter Ale. Thought that was my number 2. And then the Belgian Quad was my number 3. I think those had some good flavors to them that I thought were in their own bottle very good and unique.
Yep.
Not trying to compare them against the other beers, but just the beer on itself.
Yep.
Very good. So I was just trying to set them aside from all the other, because you can't compare the Firestone to this beer.
No.
To the Winter. So just trying to compare it against itself. That was how I went.
Yeah. And this category was kind of tough because anniversary beers were all over the board.
Yes.
But I do think it was really cool. And it kind of tied in with, like I said, our 25th episode. And so boys, I'd like to raise a glass and toast. Thank you to Jim for being there for pretty much all 25 episodes so far. You've helped me more than you know. Ron, thank you for being on a couple of them here, and I'm sure we're going to have you back because he does provide a really good look at stuff,
even though it is kind of seasoned.
Yeah,
seasoned and well
being
matured.
As young as he is. He knows what he's talking about when he's tasting beer.
Sometimes you have to look at things from the other side of life.
There you go.
And, I've been there. I've been in the gutter.
He's done a lot in his 29 years.
Plus.
Yes. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this. And we'll be back again next week. And as always, we hope that your campfires are always warm and your beer is always cold.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
What time is it? What time is it?
Remember?
No, I don't. We got to go.
And they had
I don't remember that.
Bob, is there a story there?
I don't know. I was hammered.
That's my
For that one?
my all-time favorite Bob story.
Refresh my memory.
We were doing shots of mezcal.
Oh my god, it probably was.
Who got the worm?
Bob?
Bob was going to be the He-Man.
Well, it was getting down close to the bottom of the bottle. It was like that much left.
Did it
So we
touch?
poured it in shot glass, or you're taking a hit?
No.
Out of the bottle.
Right out of the bottle.
And
He was going to do the urban cowboy thing.
he tilted that bottle up, and I
Glug, glug,
saw
glug,
the
glug.
worm.
It was alive. It was full of nauseous venom.
As soon as it touched his
Lip?
lip, it was.
Oh, it came right out?
Look it up. It's nauseous venom in those things. Yep.
So you didn't like put it in your mouth and start chewing it?
No, it just touched
Oh
me.
yeah. He didn't even get in his mouth.
No, it was like, oh.
I'm out of here.
You're like a water bubble.
I mean, I
in the
felt
bubbler.
fine now. I kept thinking I wasn't like sick. It was
Ah!
venom.
I'll never forget it.
Mezcal does that to people, though.
Slowly came down and bit him.
Did you guys have that on video? That would have been perfect.
No, that was pre.
Yeah, that was
video.
pre.
Thank
That was
Yeah.
Free cell phone.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.